I'm the director at RASCS and Safety Compliance Services. If you're connected on LinkedIn, you'll have a bit of an idea of what we do here at RASCS. But what I wanted to do today was go live and go through about 5 or 10 minutes at the very most, just to bring everybody up to date as to what we are now doing. There's been a lot of changes, so my little business here, RASCS, kicked off during the pandemic in 2020, and since then it's grown every year, and we've kind of changed and moved with the times as we've developed and learned as we've grown the business. And what we offer now are various services and products that I want to bring to your attention today. Most people see us as the health and safety people, but we're much more than that. And we've moved into advanced smart technology. I'm going to show you some of that in a moment, but we have a wide range of services on offer. Yes, we are a traditional risk management and health and safety consultancy service, and currently we work with some key names across the United Kingdom. So you'll be aware that I am the independent external risk and safety auditor, health and safety auditor for Arriva Bus PLC across the United Kingdom. They allow us to talk about the relationship and the work that we do there. And I'm very pleased to say that this year, 2026, is our 8th year of providing audit services to Arriva UK Bus. So that's a fantastic partnership arrangement that we've got going there. But we do much more than that. We do ISO 45001 audits for organisations like the Luton Dart, part of Luton Rising down in Luton, adjacent to the airport. That's the public transport system that takes passengers from Luton Parkway train station into Luton Airport, highly advanced sort of bullet train setup. So we do the audits for Luton Rising and the Luton Dart. But again, we do a lot more than that. And I want to bring in my website and just go through in a non-rehearsed fashion. So this could go horrifically wrong. Let's hope it doesn't. Let me minimize myself for a moment there. And what you're looking at here is the rascs.co.uk website. That's our main website. It's our main portal on the internet, but we have many, many more. And I'll bring these to your attention in a moment. I think it's worth shouting out here the help that and development work that's gone into this. So over the last few years, from Click Marketing, Amy Rawcliffe, big shout out. Amy, I hope you're well, and I hope you get to watch this. I'm certainly going to tag you in when I comment on the LinkedIn post. But I want to give a big shout up and a big shout out to Amy Rawcliffe at Click Marketing. Amy is a retired Navy veteran, and she's developed a wonderful team, global team based in the UK, Cyprus and South Africa. And I work very closely with Amy on a number of projects. And actually, we reignited a website project only yesterday. So thank you to Amy and Alexis, who we were chatting with yesterday, and the wider team in the marketing and development department. Great bunch of people. Highly recommend you go and look at Click Marketing and check out the work that they do. They very kindly put this website together for me, and again, this is developed over time. So what do we do then? Let's look at the things that you can find if you find yourself, hopefully you will after this, on www.rascs.co.uk. I'll put a ticker tape up in a moment with all of the contact information along the bottom of the screen shortly. Here's our main website, and it explains most of what we do. I say I've got another development that we reignited yesterday, so that our offering is actually growing as we speak. One of the things I want to bring to your attention here that is up here, our training services. We offer some very unique training services, and I want to focus in on 2 of my training courses that I personally developed and recorded and uploaded onto our learning management system that you can't get anywhere else because they are truly unique. And for those of you who don't know, I've done a lot of work in farming, landed estates, rural businesses and agricultural sector over many, many years. And what I noticed, I developed this or started the ball rolling in 2020. What I noticed was that there was no specific training fun training, good training available for the agricultural sector. So I decided to do something about that, and I made one or two myself. So the following courses you can find on our website. Go to rascs.co.uk, click the training icon, and underneath there you see farm health and safety training. And when you click that, you come into our sort of agricultural department, for want of a better word. And if you scroll down there, there's a little bit of blurb about what the courses are about. But then you see these two unique courses, and I'm going to briefly show you what these are about in a moment. There's a course for managers, and there's a course for farm workers, and they're similar yet distinctly different. The farm worker course, first of all, is a very straightforward approach to farm and landed estate health and safety, and it works along the premise of, well, hello, so you're a worker on a farm or a landed estate or a rural business. Come on in. Let's tell you what you need to do to remain safe and go home to your family tonight, safe, free from risk, injury, or diseases. And we take the worker through a journey of arriving at work, going through the working day, and we highlight all of the likely activities like manual handling and fire, working with vehicles, working with animals, working with slurry, working in confined spaces, electricity, and the list goes on and on and on. And we identify all of those key hazards likely to be encountered by the worker. And then what we do is we say, so what shall we do so you don't become injured by these things that we know you're going to encounter every day? And we take them through sort of hazard control situations. It's very effective. We have engagement from literally around the world, including New Zealand, Australia, Africa, South Africa, and many, many other places. I would say this, it's a very good course. It doesn't take too long to complete, and it's straightforward little chapters, little videos with downloads and case studies, and something else that's unique, which I'll mention in a moment. And then you've got the farm managers course. This is in a similar kind of vein to the farm worker course, with a slight difference. The emphasis is on management. So what do managers, supervisors, owners, and leaders in these agricultural businesses need to be considering on their day-to-day operations? Yes, they've got to look after their workers, but it's wider than that. They have additional responsibilities. For example, writing safety policies, writing manuals, procedures, safe systems of work, investigating and reporting accidents and incidents that may occur during the working day, and maintaining training records, ensuring that all of the statutory obligations are adhered to, such as gas safety, electrical safety, asbestos, Legionella. The list goes on and on and on. And we identify all of those key compliance issues. And again, we then take the manager, owner, supervisor on a bit of a journey of what they need to do practically to ensure they remain compliant and that their workers remain safe. So they're quite good courses. When you land on this section on rascs.co.uk, let me briefly show you. And if say you wanted to have a look at the manager's course, you would simply click that. That will shoot you off to our sister website, where you can look at the courses in a little bit more detail. Got the farm workers, you got the farm managers, and when you want to go onto the course, simply click. You land in the school. There's a little video. I'll just briefly play that. So I'll stop it there, but I'll take you through like an intro to the course. On this landing page, which is inside our main learning environment, our learning management system, you can read all about the course content, why we're doing it, who it's designed for, what subjects we will cover in the courses. That's quite important. People want to know, so what am I going to get? What are you going to talk about? But more importantly, we then talk about the benefits of the course. So we don't focus on the features so much, but what are you, the farm manager, owner, supervisor, going to get out of this course? What's the benefits to you and by default your business? And we go through all of that. And then, of course, at the very end, there's some reviews from students from literally around the world, including the UK, New Zealand, Africa. We had people in from Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. and then that silly bugger there saying let's get cracking. And of course, once you're ready to go, you can click join us, pay your money and start the course. So that's the farm safety training, managers, supervisors and employees. Let me quickly show you this. Let me just get rid of that. And I want to show you the unique bit that I mentioned earlier. It's on the website. There's a taster of it here. I'll just stop that. When we started to develop our training course, we had a really good look around at what else was out there. And there are other training courses, you know, farm health and safety, some good ones. I did them all myself. I actually enrolled myself. So I needed to get the information from the student perspective. So I think I sat about 4 courses and made notes, and I just decided what was good about these courses and what was not so good, basically. All of the great stuff, the good stuff, and there was a lot, I made sure similar things were incorporated into my courses. I improved where I could. And all of the stuff that I thought, God, that's boring or clunky or not very user-friendly, I got rid of all of that. One of the things that none of the courses had, and this is a unique difference, a USP for want of a better word, is what you're looking at now. So on this screen now, you're looking at the Risk and Safety Compliance Services Ltd 3D interactive farm training experience. So as people work their way through our course, what happens is they get to this chapter and it basically says, hey, welcome, well done for completing all the other chapters. Why don't you come and have a look around our 3D interactive farm? And this is what they're presented with, an aerial view of a farm. This is a real farm in the northeast of the United Kingdom, where myself and a very good colleague, friend of mine, Owen Waitman from 3D Virtual Spaces, who I've known now since 2020, and we've done lots of work and projects together. We regularly catch up for a chat and a coffee somewhere around the northeast. The venue changes. We turned up at the farm. Owen was armed with his drone and his 3D kind of Google Street cameras, if you like. And what you're about to see a snippet of is the result. Students get to the 3D section and it says, right, come on in. There's a briefing, there's a video that briefs them. And then they can come into the farm. And the idea is that once they're inside each of these different sections, the ones that flash mean you can do something. In the real course, they all flash and you can do lots of stuff. And you get invited in as a student to go and have a look around and make notes of any hazards that you see. And also at the point where you've made a note of a particular hazard, you have to start thinking about, so why is it dangerous? What's the outcome going to be? Is it going to be an accident, an incident, someone going to get killed or break a leg, or maybe it's just business interruption or downtime or damage to fabric, buildings, business continuity, who knows? And more importantly, then we invite the student to come up with a solution. So what you're going to do about it. Should I give you a quick example? Let's imagine you've arrived at this bit in the course and you go, right, let's go and have a sniff around the farmyard. You simply click the little icon and it zooms you into the farmyard. And as you'll see now, you can move around. It's 3D, it's interactive. I'm not going to harp on about this too much, but you know, you can click things for further information. You get information crops up and you can download that, or you can save it to your desktop. You can do whatever you want. You can look around and go, oh, I wonder what he's up to then. And sorry, excuse me. You can zoom in and zoom out. You can move around. When you've had enough of the farmyard, you can click the icon and come back up and then go into the different departments. Again, I'm not going to harp on about it too much, but let me quickly show you the store and the workshop. Again, you'll get a similar kind of thing happening. That'll open up and you'll get taken into the workshop. And again, you're on this kind of hazard spotting exercise now where you can move around. Built in are various icons where that links you to YouTube videos where you can get further information. Again, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. In the real course, you could walk your way over to this doorway here, and you could actually walk through there and go into the workshop and look at all the tools and all of the hazards that we set up. Here you can't. It's just going to invite you to sign up basically, because it's it's a lead magnet. You know, we want people to have a look, but we want them buying the course ultimately. So that's a quick snippet of the 3D interactive course. It goes down really well. People really do like that part of the course. It gets some rave feedback. Let's get back to the homepage. So I want to show you a couple of other things. So far we've covered the auditing side, where we audit public transport and public infrastructure, large scale ISO 45001 audits. You know, we do our farm health and safety training. The final kind of agricultural thing to mention is rural crime prevention. We're heavily involved in rural crime prevention across the UK, and we've developed a course. That's my little mascot, Chase the dog. We've developed a course which I'll quickly show you now. This truly is unique. There is no other course like this that I'm aware of in the whole of the world. Our course has been accredited by Security Services CPD Global. So it's got, you can claim up to 5 CPD points upon completion. And it's a course where we take the person, the rural farmer, the estate owner, or the manager or supervisor on a journey of crime. And we tell them all about crime prevention. Again, we've got students from all over the world have taken this course. We take them on a crime prevention journey that talks in very simple terms about rural crime. And we tell people what rural crime is all about in the UK, how the criminals approach you, the potential victim, the target, how they get in, how they steal your stuff, what they then do with your stuff, and how you become that sort of victim who's now had a loss. Insurance premiums are going to go up. You might be stressed. You might have been threatened with violence and aggravation in the process. So that's a cool course. It's really, really good. And again, there's a landing page for that. I want to show you something. I want to bring to your attention our other courses, our main health and safety training courses. So you can either go to training and watch all the videos about our courses, or you can come and have a look at these courses here. We've got health and safety, we've got business skills, health and social care, mental health and well-being, hospitality, and various bundles where we've put clumps of courses together and offered a great discount that you can take advantage of. It's about 130 courses. Let's quickly nip in. I want to give you an idea of what's available. There's an A to Z of courses, literally from abrasive wheels and everything you could possibly want to know, all the way down to personal development. And in there are studio level production. This is not me talking on these courses. The farm courses and the rural crime prevention course, you see me, I'm in the videos, I narrate the videos. These are professional studio production courses by voiced with trained actors. They're highly, highly advanced. They're really, really good. The beauty about doing the courses through Risk and Safety Compliance Services, though, is I've lowered my pricing. I think I'm probably one of the most cost-effective training providers in the United Kingdom, if not the most cost-effective, but it's difficult to claim that because I'm not aware of everybody. So what I can tell you is it's difficult to beat me on price, but it's probably not going to be impossible. I also have available for companies who want to buy bulk training courses, where let's take that abrasive wheels course there, for example, currently at £25 per license. In a bulk process, I can get that down to less than a third of that price. So we can really negotiate hard, dependent upon the scale. The other thing about our training, if you look here, look where you can search courses, it's quite a clever little thing. Let's say you wanted a manual handling course. Start typing manual handling, manual, and straight away options for manual handling are going to appear. Or you might want to type in, let's say we're looking at sort of the care certificate, care cert. The care certificate's going to come up. So it's pretty slick. Now this process is really, really good. It's fully automated. So once you, at one point mentioned, can you see the trial now button here? You can trial the first chapter of every single one of my courses absolutely free. No need to give us your credit card details. Log in, click free trial or trial now, set yourself a little account. You just with your email address. By return, you'll get an email inviting you in to set a password, and away you go. Once you've done the first chapter, let's say you decide, oh, this is pretty good, and they are, and you then want to purchase the course, buy the course, pay your money, and it will take you back to where you were. So it remembers where you left off, basically. Yeah, so there's all of those courses there. Just about everything you could want. They're fully online, fully automated. You can drop it and pick it up and come back to it. It'll remember where you were. And once you've gone through the entire training program and you've successfully answered the questions, you have to pass a little test on all of them, then click finish, well done. You'll have a certificate of completion in your inbox literally within about 20 seconds. So that's our online training courses. What else would I like to bring to your attention? One other thing before we move off the RASCS website, but I need to move myself because I'm in the way, I noticed. So let me put myself there up the side. Now what's appeared, can you see this little icon here? This is our new training assistant chatbot, and when you click him, he'll pop up. I say him, it might be a her, I don't know, but the name of it is the RASCS training chatbot. So we've recently launched this about last week, middle of last week. We want to make the experience on our website as easy as possible. So when people are looking for training courses, we want them to have a very seamless experience. Yes, you can go and put in the search bar that I've just showed you: manual handling, care certificate, work at height, confined spaces, lockout, tag out, boom, the list goes on, about 120 odd courses, as I said. Or you could ask the chatbot. Shall we give it a go? This could get really embarrassing now. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I think we've trained it quite well. We've fed it all of the information, but as with any chatbot, they are never 100%. That's my little get out clause. So let's ask the chatbot. So you've arrived on our website and you want to know, oh, I wonder if they do IOSH managing safely courses. Well, you know we do anyway, because it's there right at the start. But let's imagine you didn't see that on the homepage. So let's come here and ask the question. Let's say good morning first, because it's always nice to be good morning, chatty bot thing. Let's see if he's in a good mood. Yes, it is. Good morning. How can I assist you? I am looking for an IOSH course. Let's just put IOSH course. Let's see if it can differentiate. I'm looking for an IOSH course. So let's hopefully our little chatbot will now be searching its knowledge base, and it should come back and go, well, we do one of those. IOSH managing safely, blah, blah, blah. So what he's done here is also give us the link. Now, theoretically, when I click that link, boom, IOSH approved, managing safely, £220, our online course currently on our advertised price. So you can literally just click, put your details in, pay, away you go. You have 6 months to complete the course, by the way. And on the home page, let me just refer you to that. I'm going to close that now. Anyway, on the home page, just under here, there's an IOSH brochure that you can download, or you can click here and enroll in the course from there. So you can either ask the chatbot, or you can just use that sort of large icon on the homepage. What else might we want to do? Let's say work at height training. Do you do that? It should now be searching its knowledge base and come up with the fact that, well, we do actually do working at height training courses. And it might come up with a couple of solutions. Yep, there you go. And it's given us options. And again, you can just click on there and that will take you to the course. One of the other things we provide that's and we do a lot of it actually. Let's do what about first aid training? Now this is one of those courses you don't really want to do online, do you? Not first aid's a very hands-on, practical kind of approach. So let me explain my viewpoint on online training. For some people, it's a non-starter. They hate it. A lot of people think it's absolutely a waste of time. And of course, people are entitled to that opinion. And in their specific circumstances, that may well be the case. But in the big real world that we live in, there's a place for both online training and face-to-face training. And it depends upon the skills that you're required to learn. My opinion on first aid is it's a face-to-face kind of training course that you want. So let's ask our chatbot, do you do first aid training? I, of course, know that we do. So let's see what Chatty says about it. Chatty's been told when we trained the chatbot on first aid, we've informed him that we want our students to be face-to-face when it comes to first aid training. And so what we do is we tell him, get their information and someone will call you back. So when you put your details in there, click, it'll say, thanks for that, Richard, or someone from the office will call you back very shortly. And of course, we'll get alerted and we'll call you back. So first aid training we do the 3-day first aid at work course. We do the 1-day emergency first aid course. And we actually do the the mental health first aider courses as well. We've got 2 of those. But we come to you for those. Our trainers, I'm not one of the trainers, but this is my background. I'm a former member of the Royal Army Medical Corps. So I was an Army medic for 15 years. And our trainers have military, medical, practical experience from around the world. They've been there, and they've done it, and they've seen it. And they've dealt with the real casualties in the most horrific and austere environments you can imagine. The beauty of that is that knowledge is then brought back into the classroom, and we can give that knowledge to our students in real life scenarios. So our training is brilliant. All of our first aid training courses go down an absolute treat. Brilliant feedback. But we'll come to you. And again, on the pricing, you can't beat us on pricing. So let's ask chatbot one more question, then I've got a couple of things to show you, then I'll move on very, very quickly. So final thing on this, well, let's talk about what's our most popular course at the moment. Well, actually, it's the IOSH Managing Safely course, and I'm very pleased to say we've just taken on our first international students on our online course. Some students from Greece, Nikki and her co-worker, whose name I can't pronounce, who run an outward bound training centre and a rope access company across in Greece. They're now going through our IOSH Managing Safely online course. We also provide our IOSH course to some major UK corporations who will remain nameless, but it's a very, very popular course because it allows the manager to go through at their own pace. But again, the slight differentiator with risk and safety compliance services, we're always really customer focused. Our students can give us a call if they're having any issues, and we'll speak to them face to face. It's not just online, we're there as backup and support as well. So that works very well. Final one, let's just put in, what about mental health training? Again, we do this on a face-to-face basis, but we do have some online courses. So let's see what Chatty comes up with on these. Right, so yeah, so it's urging, yeah, there you go. So it's urging you to contact us through the website contact, or I can take your details. Oh yeah, okay, I'll take my details. Let's see if it brings up something to fill in. Hopefully it does. Boom, there we go. So I'll bring myself up front and center now. I will. Yeah, so I think that's just a quick snapshot. I've got one or two other things to show you very briefly, but I wanted to explain the depth and breadth of the services. So it's health and safety, it's auditing, it's consultancy, it's training, and it's training with a difference, our unique 3D farm experience, for example, on the farm worker and the farm manager course. And then we've got our internationally accredited, unique globally, our internationally accredited rural crime prevention training course, which is a great course. And then you've seen all of those other courses, and the fact that we've now got the training chatbot on the website, who's very quick, he's very alert, very interactive, very accurate. And we urge you to use that. And of course, what we're about to do also is develop further sort of sections for our chatbot. We started with the training, but he's going to grow and learn learn a lot more about everything that we do. That we initially did that trial period. It went down really, really well. It's very accurate, very, very useful. And it just cuts out a lot of time for people who are looking for courses. They haven't got to start sending us emails. They haven't got to start calling us. It saves the potential customer time. They can ask the question, be given the information. We either do it or we don't. If we do it, click this link and get cracking. Or if it's a face-to-face course, fill the form in and we'll call you straight back. So that's probably enough about that at the moment. Let me mention, I think I've been harping on that we like to do things slightly different. We're always customer focused, but we're always looking to innovate. We're always looking for things that are smart, if you like, things that are going to make people's lives better, smarter, and ultimately safer. I want to bring up this time a different little website. So I'm going to open up this. Let me put myself back down there. You'll have heard me talking about this quite a bit over the last few months, but it's now gathering super momentum. And I want to really explain very, very briefly in very simple terms what BioVitae is. Can you imagine if in your world, well, it doesn't matter where you work, but in your world, if you could make your workplace safer by turning on a light, that would probably be a good thing. So if there was a smart, clever solution out there that was a light, but when you turned it on, it sanitized the environment and killed viruses like COVID, for example, SARS-2, or spores that kill mold, or other bacteria like, say, Mycobacterium tuberculosis that causes TB. If you could turn a light on, and that light not only gave you LED, highly efficient, cost-effective illumination, but at the same time, it started sanitizing your environment, you would probably agree with me. That would be fascinating and truly unbelievable. But it's true. And there they are. Let me get one. Those lights that you can see behind me there are BioVitae lights. This is the actual product itself, the finished product inside our beautiful packaging and box. And inside is a light bulb. Those light bulbs, as explained in this wonderful brochure that comes with the packaging, this light bulb is truly unbelievable. At the point where you turn on the light, the illumination that is emitted isn't just brightening up your room, it's emitting light at a specific wavelength. More details I'm going to show you on a different website in a moment. And at this particular wavelength, the light is able to penetrate the cell, the membrane wall of bacteria, viruses, and spores that cause, or mold spores basically. And once it breaks down the outer shell, the outer membrane, it forces the cell to kill itself. So the light penetrates bad cells and forces that bacteria or spore or virus to start reacting and ultimately kill itself and destroy itself over a relatively short space of time. I'm going to show you some alternative products that we've got. So it's BioVitae. You're going to hear a lot about this year in 2026. So I'm one of a few people here in the United Kingdom who are distributing this. I'm working very closely with my old friend, again, former Royal Army Medical Corps veteran. So Simon Smith from Objective Health and Martin Curran across in Ireland, we're working hard to introduce this technology into the United Kingdom. It's tried and tested, it's globally patented, and it's highly efficient. The most important thing to stress is you don't need to take our word for it, because the testing that's been done in various environments is independent and the results are there for everybody to see. So I need to point you towards a website. I want to make sure you're aware of this because it's really, really important. Lightbulb.bio. Lightbulb.bio. I mentioned a short while ago when I was talking about click marketing, excuse me. When I was talking about click marketing, we got a new project that we've just reignited. Well, it's the new website for lightbulb.bio. So this is the holding website that you can see here. It's not loaded yet, but there's a YouTube video there. And on lightbulb.bio, you can pick your sector. So do you work in shops, supermarkets, train stations, airports, restaurants, cinemas, theatres, blah, 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 agriculture, care sector, housing sector. And we have a light solution to make those environments safer places to live and work and visit. Because as soon as you put in the BioVitae light fitting, and I'm going to show you the various options in a moment, as soon as you introduce one of our light fittings and you turn it on, it's illuminating, highly efficient, it's almost like daylight. The wavelength, the reason it doesn't harm people or animals is because it's non-UV and it's effectively sunlight. So the wavelength that it's working at is like sunlight, best known sanitation system known to man. So you stick the lights in and life becomes cleaner and safer with bacteria, mold, viruses being destroyed both in the air and on the surfaces, and in a highly efficient manner in a very, very short space of time. So I'm going to have a look at lightbulb.bio. What I want to do before we do that, though, let me just bring up let me ticker that across, so for people watching later, they'll know who we are and how to contact us. I'll leave that running for a short while. So on the website currently on lightbulb.bio, you can have a look at the various sectors where this product, our kind of clever lights, if you like, are in use around the world. It's not concept. This is tested, efficient, and in use in many, many large scale applications around the world today. So if you have a look at the website, we'll tell you how it works, the wavelengths that the light will operate at, and anything else you'd need to know. This is the latest bit of information, actually, and you can read the results online. As I said, too good to be true. You haven't got to take Richard's word for it, or Simon, or Martin, or BioVitae. It's an Italian invention, by the way. There's some very, very recently published test results on the efficiency of how BioVitae lighting will inactivate the bacteria that causes tuberculosis, TB. So TB, airborne infection, is quite a nasty disease. I know that personally because my younger brother Gary actually had it a while back when in Germany. So it's a nasty disease, kills lots of people. The light from the BioVitae light fitting will inactivate tuberculosis. The Mycobacterium tuberculosis, that's the causative organism of TB, is inactivated to high 90% efficiency. On the website, if you click that, it'll actually take you direct to the results. So these are the laboratory results, and you can read all about the test itself, not from us. This is truly independent. Go through the technical data, see how it was done, what was done, but more importantly, see that the BioVitae light will kill Mycobacterium tuberculosis over time, and it doesn't take that much time either. And again, I've put lots and lots of different sort of examples of where it's being used currently, and in each of those little sectors that you can click on there, you will see a similar trial, independent trials, but high university laboratories, including the University of Birmingham, who have done the trials on behalf of BioVitae to retain that truly independent feel, if you like. So think about your own workplace. Let me just, what I'll do is I'll quickly bring myself back up. If you think about your own workplace, there's a place for BioVitae lighting. So whether you just work in an office where you've got loads of different people, particularly in the winter, coughs and sneezes and colds, touching objects, blowing their noses, disease causing organisms everywhere on door handles and toilet seats, you name it, turn the lights on and they're going to be inactivated and killed. But then think of other applications. Think of hospitals, think of care homes, think of gymnasiums, places where infection control is really, really important because people's lives depend upon it. Introduce BioVitae lighting and you're going to reduce the bacteria or viral or spore load on surfaces and in the air to almost a non-existent, certainly below the disease causing threshold. It's also got applications in farming, agriculture, food production, dairies, where lambs are brought in the winter. What about avian flu? Huge problem, bird flu across the UK. You'll see me talking more and more about that over the coming weeks because it's a project that we're working on at the moment with the BioVitae lights. It's a massive problem, causes disruption, ruins people's livelihoods. Our lights will kill it. Indoors, when we have to bring our birds and our flocks inside, turn the BioVitae lights on. Doesn't replace cleaning, doesn't replace DEFRA hygiene protocols and all the rest of it, but it's an always on, in the background engineering control. If the light's on, it's keeping things safe and sanitized and reducing the bacterial load. So that's BioVitae lighting. I think you've probably heard enough from me now. Oh, one final thing. That's what I was going to do. I was going to show you some of the BioVitae products, if you like. So this is our new product range. So you've seen me with my beautiful light bulb today, and it literally is plug and play. You know, this light bulb here, take it out of its box, you can see it's a bayonet fitting. Click, sanitation has begun. But then there's many other things. So think of your own workplace, think of your own environments where you might want to control bacteria, virus and contamination and get it down to the lowest practical level that you can. We've probably got something to fit your circumstances, plug and play, highly efficient LED lighting that will give you the illumination that you require, but it will kill the vast majority of bacteria, virus and spores in the atmosphere, certainly below a level that you'll be concerned about. So it's that kind of added layer of protection, if you like. So there's the tubes, and it's worth mentioning, of course, that if we currently don't have one can be made. The technology can go into anything. So whatever your requirement is, a bespoke one can be made, and the chances are we've already got it anyway. So tubes, big tri-proof ceiling lights with the clip closed, spotlights, panels for whether it's care homes or hospitals or shopping centres, food halls, whatever it might be. There's a specific development for MRI rooms where it's safety has been the main priority, so as not to interfere. So non-magnetic materials, not going to interfere with the resonating imagery that's going on. So again, these things are designed for clinical environments, operating theatres, hospital wards, recovery wards, X-ray departments, MRI departments, you name it. There's a solution for it. Always on, in the background, cleansing, engineering control, beautiful products, beautiful like downlight solutions. Again, just to give you an example of the high spec, high quality, and we've got ones that waterproof, dustproof. Little spotlights. Imagine in your kitchen, under your bench, where you've got all your spots. Very, very common these days. Well, rather than just have a light, why not have one that's now sanitizing all your work surfaces and your benches where you start preparing the food for you and your family and your children? Always on, background engineering control. And this is the latest product here that you can see here. This is the new farm linear fixture. In these types of environments, the tri-proof one that you saw a moment, they've been very, very popular. But this new one, with its high protection factor, IP68 and also IP69, resistant to jet wash water, dust, water ingress, damp in the air, and also highly resistant to ammonia. So if you're thinking of your chickens and your sheep and your cattle, the housing where the animals are, where bacteria is normally rife and proliferates, particularly when we're talking flocks of poultry, chickens and turkeys and broilers or whatever else it might be, the risk of disease going rampant and spreading so quickly is greatly reduced with this on as a control, as well as your normal hygiene protocols. Last couple, then I'm going to wash everything up and get off air. Various other beautiful products that you can use in the home or in the workplace. Let me just bring this all back up very briefly. Yeah, so there we go. So thank you so much for watching and listening. And as I've been talking, we've had people watching live. I can't see on this screen whether it's on LinkedIn or on the YouTube channel, but whoever you are, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. This will get watched a lot later. By all means, feel free to comment if you would like any further information on anything that we do here at Risk and Safety Compliance Services, whether it's our training, our consultancy, our audit service, or whether you have an interest in the BioVitae light technology. You're going to hear a lot about it over 2026. It's going to go crazy. We know that based on what's been done already in the trials that we've been running. It's proven itself over the years. It is highly, highly efficient, but more importantly, it looks great. It's beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing, but it does what it says on the tin. You turn it on, like the ones in the background there. Simply turn it on. Up comes your light. Beautiful daylight effect, if you like. But at the same time, we know it's emitting that light at a specific wavelength that will target and destroy bacteria, viruses, and disease-causing organisms. But again, don't take my word for it. Go to lightbulb.bio. And again, that new website will be launched very soon, but you can see it at the moment. Watch the videos, download and read the independent test data. So that's me. That's Richard Wade. You can get me on that number there at any time or through that website there. And let's not forget our chatbot, who can take you through and advise you what training courses are available. Thanks, everyone. Take great care. And